Hello guys and welcome to another Mad Chili video. Today we're playing some more iRacing and it is week number 4 I think of this season. I think it's week 4, yeah. And the USF 2000 Pure Driving School Formula Sprint is at USA International Speedway. That's a long title. Anyway, so yeah, they're at USA International Speedway and you know, it's pretty fun, you know. Road Series goes to Oval, but this season on iRacing, your Oval license is now affected on Oval tracks, and your road license is now affected on road tracks. It doesn't matter which series that you take part in. So, I think that's pretty cool. So we go out here, go into USA International Speedway, and we'll see how it all goes. So I'm car number 1, I've only just noticed. So, because this is my Oval iRating. And we'll see how this goes. In practice I was about 4th. I was quite quick, so we'll see how this goes. It's a bit weird this, because it does actually require gear shifting. Obviously it's a fixed setup series, so if the setup isn't very good, tough. And in this case, maybe there was no way to avoid it, but it does require shifting from 4th to 5th, and then 5th back to 4th. Slightly annoying on an oval having to do that, however, it doesn't really matter. It's not like the street stock where you lose loads of time, because it is obviously an actual kind of race car rather than just a stock car. Because this is the first time I've ever raced something that isn't a NASCAR around one of these ovals anyway, so we'll see how this goes. Just practice for now, this is. Now, to be honest, out of anything, I'd like to try and get 0 incidents. Unlike the Class C street stock series I've been doing sometimes, I haven't been able to do it last week or this week because of the tracks that it's at, but cautions are disabled for this race, so sadly that does mean we may have some carnage. It's going to be about a 40-ish lap race. It's a 15-minute race, which equates to about 45 laps, I think. It seems like that's what most of the races have been running, so 45 laps. But anyway, let's go out here now and try and practice. This is qualifying now, so let's go out. I have been able to set a fairly decent lap, although I haven't really been able to replicate it. I went out in one stint in practice and did 4 of them, and then couldn't seem to get close again. So I don't really know what I did to get that good lap time, but I can't seem to do it again. Hopefully, now qualifying's here, I'll be able to do it. It's also about having trust in this car. It's a little bit understeery, so I always think you're going to go towards the wall, and in this car, because it's open wheel, if you hit a wall, it's basically game over. It is literally game over, like the tyres fall off, and that's basically you out, like, because it's quite difficult to make it back to the pits on a broken wheel as well. In some cases, the car won't steer. Alright, this quali lap has been alright. Half a tenth down there on my best. At the moment it's enough for P3. I'd like to start on the inside, so that's an odd number. So P3 would be perfect. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I was aiming for about P3, so we'll see what goes on. It does appear that almost nobody's qualified at the moment. So we'll see what happens as qualifying goes on. We're already down to 4th place, look. So really, I knew from practice I should have been getting in those 19.7s for a good lap. Also, apologies if you can hear myself. Like, I don't know, my mic I think is turned up in a weird way. You can like hear feedback from it. Sadly, there's no way to get rid of that unless you have Logitech G Hub installed, which, as you guys know, totally messed up my force feedback. So, and it's annoying because I can hear myself in my video now. Like, it's quite annoying, but what can you do, I guess? So we'll just leave it. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoy this video. I'll see you guys while on the grid. Right, there we go, guys. So qualifying's basically finished. Unfortunately, with P6, so outside. If that lap could have been just a little bit better, it could have been P4. However, I don't really think we could have got any better than P4. My very, very best would have got me P3. Although, again, I've never really done. I've only got, you know, that would have been literally exactly would have to be my best, if not better. So really, I think P4 was probably the maximum we could have got, so P6 is not too bad. In terms of iRating, I think we do need to finish in the top 6 to gain iRating. There's 17 cars here, so half that you get 8 and a bit, so it's 8 because I'm car number 1. And then kind of take a few off flats. It's back top 6-ish. So we'll see how we can do. However, as well, it's also the field's a bit mixed up because we're now using oval licenses. Some people have maybe aren't very good at oval, but are good in these cars, and maybe a little bit higher than they should be. So car 9 and car 12 are the ones on the front row, and then car 1, 2, 3, 4, all of us are back. You know, car number 7 is starting practically last. So it's kind of, it's a little bit mixed up. So we'll see how this goes. 45 laps-ish, 20 minutes, no, 15 minutes it is. The aim here really is just don't hit a wall, because that will really hurt. Unlike in the street stock where you can get away with just a little tap on the wall, you can't get away with it in this. Now I've only just remembered I've forgotten to start Crew Chief. However, I won't be able to start it now because it does actually black out the screen sometimes when it starts. And then you have to put, because of iRacing, go from full screen to regular, and then you have to put it back into full screen. And I don't want my screen going back black even on a formation lap, because I don't want... These cars are fragile, I don't want to crash it. Wait, that was my internet being funny, I think. Yeah. Someone ended up inside the wall, because I disconnected a little bit, and then... Yeah, that was a weird one. Hopefully my internet holds out. I said sometimes I do blink out a little bit on this recording PC. It's a little bit annoying, although I'm not as blinky as some people, so it's not too bad. Some people are like in out, in out. I couldn't play iRacing if it was that bad. Right, one lap to go to green. I'm a bit annoyed about being on the outside because being on the inside does matter. Really, I don't want to be going side by side either. I really would like to try and keep it 1 by 1 if possible, because, you know, as I said, I don't really, you know, unlike in a street stock where if you hit a wall or hit somebody else.
Remember, guys, full tilt into turn 1.
I have no idea what that guy said.
Full tilt backwards, you mean?
But yeah, if we...
Come on now, that's just semantics.
Okay. Anyway, about to go green and green. Oh, being on the outside's horrible. I'm just going a bit backwards now because I'm stuck on the outside. Oh, there you go. This person is. There you go. I'm back to the inside. Then we're in 7th place, so it's kind of expected that you lose at least 1 position starting on the outside.
Second turn 1.
Okay, I'm trying to get a move done on this this car here for P6, but it's not really going to plan. Right now, we're all just kind of spread out nicely, so we'll see what happens. This is definitely not how the race will end. All the other ones I saw. Oh, there we go. Got someone spinning out the place, and oh, that was close. That was really close.
Second 4.
And someone thinks it's a good idea to try and take it 3 wide. Yeah, nice and sensible. I'm glad they stepped out of that. So there we go. Yeah, I'm just waiting for someone to go side by side and then it end badly. We all knew that was going to happen. So I'm now up to 5th place, I believe. Who's that? That's a lap car. That's what I mean. Look, just a small bit of damage, and that's enough to really hurt your race. So yeah, right now we're in P5. I can go a bit quicker than the lap times I was setting there, although I'm not really going to push too hard. Obviously, don't really want to pass anybody unless we get quite a big run, because going side by side, as you signal there, does often end in damage. And as I said earlier, we don't want any damage whatsoever if we can help it. These cars are very fragile. Open wheels, front wing that sticks out, rear wing that sticks out. They're not really ideal for any kind of contact at all. That person had just hit the wall, so I just backed off a little bit there. I'm having to go a bit slower than I'd like now because this person ahead is really holding me up a little bit. I think they have a bit of damage now, maybe. Obviously, I know it was just a very small hit on the wall. Oh, someone's coming out the pits there. That was close. There you go, I'm now fully alongside this person. And there you go, they're nice and sensible. Get out of the way. It sadly slightly messed up that corner, so they've been able to get back alongside me, hopefully. There you go, get a good exit this time. Those two are busy going side by side, so up into P4 now. That's what we needed. Hopefully we can try and break away from the carnage back there then. And think about catching these guys. Because the lap times we're setting aren't that awesome. 19.9 the last one, so we can do a bit better than that. That was better. The one before that was like a 20 point something. We have now got a bit of a gap behind, so that's nice. I think that car we overtook after it hit the wall, you can see it was car number 4, look, they're just going backwards. They're currently in a battle for 7, so this is what I mean, just one little teeny tap on the wall, and that's it. That's their race kind of over. They're going backwards, they're down to 7th place now from 4th. That's what we don't want happening to us. Right, we're only on lap 12 as well, so we've still got, 11 minutes to go. We're only 4 minutes in, so it's a long race actually, really, if you think about it. Even though it's only 15 minutes, it feels longer than some of the other 15-minute series that you do. Right now, we're pretty secure here in P4. P5 is actually slightly closing on us, although, saying that, in that corner, we actually pulled away a bit more, so I don't know. This car doesn't have quite as much grip through the corners. It's probably because, obviously we're being a bit more conservative in the race. Without even knowing it, because obviously, I don't really know what the tyre wear is like. I mean, in the street stock towards the end of a 15-20 minute race, the tyre wear does start to be noticeable, although it's not major. I've got to be careful here as well, because I think P2 and P3 are fancying battling, and as we know already, that might not end very well. In fact, one of them was almost shoved there. That's getting close between P2 and 3. I've got to be careful. Don't want to get caught up in it if they decide to have an accident. There you go, car number 12 there being very sensible and getting out of the way. Obviously they're a lap down. No need to be here when these two might crash into each other. I'm actually closing on them here, so we've got to be careful really, because obviously I'm being closed on a little bit behind, but I'm also closing on these guys ahead, and the thing is, I don't really want to pass these guys. They're already having their own battle that may end in a crash. So, although saying that, they've got back together a bit now, and they've hopefully crash is averted for the next couple of laps until one of them gains pace again and decides.
Sorry, Andrew, I didn't think you were still there.
It's time to make another move. Meanwhile, I'm quite happy with P4 to be honest, so. The car behind is, I don't know, it's not really closing on us. The gap's still 0.5, so. Oh, there we go. Second place just hit the wall. Right, this is going to be interesting. If they have any damage after hitting the wall, because if they do, then I think third place will fancy making a move. Let's see. Nothing at the moment, so they must not have had damage. Lucky. Right, lap 21 currently, so approaching the halfway mark now. Ish. Gap behind still half a second. I'm going maybe a bit slower than I'd like into some of these corners, although it's not massive. that's alright. So if the car behind is going to make a move, they won't do it until the end. That's what I've got to be careful of as well. If it does, so if the craziness level does suddenly go up towards the end, because it's probably quite likely, right? I'm pretty sure. This car is losing a bit of grip now as well. I almost got quite close to the wall there. We've got to go a bit slower in some of these corners. So allow the car behind to close up a little bit on me. The gap behind is kind of moving about a little bit. It's kind of like, you know, sometimes it's as close to 0.3 seconds, and other times it's going up to 0.6 seconds. Alright, is this guy getting out of the way? Yeah, this guy's a lap car, the red car. He's getting out of the way, luckily. This guy's being very nice, going wide. We'll say thanks for that. It's very nice of that guy to keep going high, to let people go.
Right, let's try and catch this pack.
I'm hoping so.
Right, gap ahead has actually started growing a little bit, so I'm gonna, hopefully I can just...
We're already a full straightaway ahead.
All I want to do is keep P4 really, from that guy behind.
Yeah, I'm struggling on my tyres.
I saved mine.
So you can see there, some people are starting to have issues with their tyres. I'm doing okay, I think. It's noticeably a little bit slower. Hopefully the guy behind hasn't been able to save tyres sitting behind me. Because some people have done that to me before in the Street Stock series. They kind of sit behind, save their tyres, and then towards the last 5 laps, that's when they try to start attacking. I mean, I would do that as well if I had the pace over the car in front, however I don't. Although weirdly, they seem, and maybe they haven't been saving, maybe they've been absolutely pushing, because weirdly they've really started to drop back. Which is interesting, so that might be why, because the gap's now 0.7 seconds, 0.8 seconds, so maybe they have hit tyre wear. Obviously in the last kind of 5 laps or so I have been a bit more gentle. I've been going less on the brakes into the corners and just letting the car roll through a bit more, rather than going maximum attack. Also at the start of the race in qualifying, you aim for about 101, 102 miles per hour through the corner. I'm right now doing about 95, so it's definitely a little bit of tyre wear. I'll be very happy with P4 and 0 incidents though, if we can do that. Very happy. Gap ahead is kind of extending now, gap behind is also extending, so we're kind of
Thanks, Mark.
in a bit of no man's land right now, which is kind of quite nice really, because it gets rid of the opportunity for someone to try and dive bomb us and kill us. Because that's almost certainly going to, and it happens in the Street Stock series, people take the whole kind of come up behind you, give you a little nudge and then move on very You know, the amount of Street Stock Series races, I think it was a good 2 of them at Southern National, where I was winning the entire thing. And then on the last lap, after leading all 69 out of 70 laps, some person decides no, and they just hit me out of the way. And they'll take the 4 incident points for that, no problem, and just win anyway. And it's like, I don't really like that, because it's not really very fair. It's a bit like, well, you know, obviously I couldn't have done that. You can't really defend against someone trying to hit you. So it's not very nice. I mean, in these cars, if you tried to do that, though, I'm pretty sure you'd end up with no front wing. So it wouldn't work. But that's kind of the bonus of racing these cars around ovals rather than big, massive stock cars. People are a bit more careful. Although saying that, the amount of cars that, obviously at the start, we were around P7. The reason we're now in P4 is because a bunch of people decided to go too wide, and then it ended badly, and someone else got damaged, so I overtook them. It was car number, was it car number 11 now that had damage? No, I can't remember. Whoa! That guy's going very slowly. So I think that's someone blinking out. There's smoke up there. Pretty sure that was someone blinking out rather than someone crashing.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Something's happened there, because someone's saying sorry a lot. I don't know what's happened, but something. Right, on to lap 43, so we should be approaching the end now. It should be around 45 laps. You can see there are only 42 seconds remaining. Have got a bit of traffic ahead. Lap cars. People are being lapped surprisingly often. I mean, it's only a 20-second lap, I guess. But yeah, it's really fun, this series. I think we'll do more of this week. It's been really, really fun. Is that person staying out of the way? Yes, they are. Thank goodness. And yeah, the car behind is now a whole second and a half away, so we've nicely maintained that gap. Car ahead's a good second away, so yeah, pretty solid P4 here as we go around the final corner. And we've managed to dodge the wall, so that's kind of the main thing. We haven't hit the wall, haven't had any damage, and across the line we go 0 incident points and 4th place. That'll be good for iRating and safety rating. Perfect. I mean, it's not our road iRating, sadly, that's going to be going up. That's the one I would rather have increased, but never mind. It is the oval iRating in a road series after the change that iRacing made going into this season. Anyway. There you go, why not? Let's bring it back to the pits. Make sure no one hits us then. And there we go, after 45 laps. Actually, it might have been 46 in the end, looking at that. I don't know. I think it was 45. Yeah, 45. Yeah, 45 laps. You can see the tyre wear, actually. It's kind of, you know, towards the end when we're getting a rhythm, look, 20.0, 20.1, and then towards the end, 20.2s as the tyres started fading away. So you can kind of see that as like a little... You can make a graph and it'd be a curve shape. Be interesting. Anyway, just need to wait for the results to come through. I'm pretty sure... Oh, come on, it's 2:30. So that means we've literally just missed the half-past races. I didn't quite think we'd make them anyway. Oh, nice. So obviously, I did forget about this on my Oval account, but my Oval licence, my safety rating was really close to going above 4. It was on 3.97. So when we did get a 0 incident race, it tipped it above 4. And that gave us a massive bonus. So I'm really happy about that. We can't get A-Class in Oval, sadly, because I don't own the content to do the B-Class Oval series. Otherwise, we would be getting an immediate promotion, so that's really cool. Best lap was pretty good. I mean, gained 20 iRating as well, which is nice. These races are kind of like that, though. It's kind of just see what happens. You'll probably gain iRating just staying on the lead lap. I mean, I probably could have finished 5th and gained iRating, although I don't think I could have finished any further back than that. Pretty clean race, though. You can see their top 7 all have 0 incidents, which is nice. It's quite rare that you see that, so that's really nice. But yeah, this week's got some really good stuff on it as well. I can't wait to do the Ferrari GT3. They're at Watkins Glen this week, and look at some of the lap times. I was able to set a 1:09.8 yesterday, with the driving line turned off as well. That's one thing I am starting to do. I've seen some of you guys' comments, and yes, maybe it's time to try the driving line turned off a little bit. VRS Sprinters at Road America. I'll give that a practice at some point to see if I have any pace around Road America. It'd be worth trying out, depending on the setup. I remember Craig's setup shop, the setup they did for Spa, I thought was far too slidey. So we'll have to see what Road America's setup is like. I'm not a massive fan of Road America. I like it. Although I've only ever played it in Project Cars, where the physics of the plane, of the car, plane? What am I on about? Physics of the car, particularly going around turn 11 there, that little kink, it's absolutely awful on Project Cars, because you turn right, and the car just goes straight on, and that is partially because the physics in Project Cars are terrible. I'm yet to, and the rest of the circuit I do actually quite like, so we'll see how it is in iRacing. Like, it's one of the ones I bought quite recently. I actually had a bit of extra money to spend because I decided not to go with the LMP2 car in the end, so I decided it was a choice between Imola and Road America, and I went with Road America, so give that a little test out, definitely. But anyway, guys, hope you really enjoyed that one, and hope to see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'll definitely be doing a lot of this week. I'm going to be grinding this. I do really like oval racing on iRacing. I absolutely love it. It's one of the main things that drew me to iRacing initially when I played it about 2 years ago. It's pretty much the only oval racing sim because, you know, Project Cars doesn't really have any oval racing. Obviously, ACC is just GT cars. So there's not really a lot to do. And then this game has everything. There's tons to do. But sadly, on the oval platform side of things, practically everything is paid content, which is why I don't do more. Like, for example, if I want to do... I've actually, you know, I mean, say I wanted to do a Class D series in road, take the Touring Car Challenge, without buying anything apart from the car, I could do weeks 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10, 11. That's the amount of weeks I could do. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 weeks out of 12. So half of the content is free in that Class D series. However, the equivalent Class D series over in the NASCAR, this is the only Class D series that is hourly and fairly popular. For free, you could do weeks 2, 5, and 7. 3. That's all you could do. You'd have to buy everything else. And that's kind of the problem. You know, there's a lot less included for free on the oval side of things. And actually, up until 2020 Season 4, I learnt that both Langley and Southern National were also paid content. So if this was before then, Week 5 would have also been out of bounds. So, there we go. Hope you guys really enjoyed that one, by the way. Hope to see you in the next one, and bye-bye!